I went from a college dropout with absolutely no skills and just a passion for sports to generating well over 8 figures as a sports bettor. And let me tell you guys, it wasn't always that easy. It wasn't just an incredible leap from nothing to, something, right? It took a lot of lessons, painful errors, blowing bankrolls, chasing losses, emotional outbursts, and a lot of learning. I've been doing this over 12 years. I've absolutely seen it all. And it took a lot of those valuable lessons before I was ever able to successfully make it as a sports bettor. The reality is that if you guys try to do this on your own, it's extremely difficult. But if you have the right people, the right mentors, the right people in place to help you, to guide you through the process, it will make it very, very easy for you to be successful.
Most sports bettors are It's the unfortunate reality of sports betting, and that's why sports betting and sports gambling is a multi-billion dollar industry. The bettors, they're following the crowd, they tail the public, and then they wonder why they keep losing. But what if I told you that the public betting data, the same data that you ignore, could be the key to finding winning picks? Now, I'm going to start off by saying immediately that does not mean that you should fade every, public favorite or a bet that is a public liability. If you fade every single one, you're automatically going to win. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But there are diamonds in the rough, and you can find a lot of winners by analyzing this data. And in this video, I will break down exactly how I use public betting percentages to beat the books, spot trap lines, and cash tickets the average bettor never sees coming. So let's get right into it. What is public betting data? So first and foremost, public betting data tells you what percentage of bets and money are coming in on each side of a game. There's sites like Action Network, Vegas Insider, and a few others like Pickett that will give you this information for free. There are two key numbers that you really need to watch for. Percentage of bets being the first one. It tells you what the majority of people are doing, okay? It's the percentage of people, what are they doing? It has no relevancy to number of cash or anything like that. It's just talking about how many tickets are there on one side versus the other. The second number that you need to focus on is the percentage of total money. Now this tells you where exactly the cash is going. So sometimes you could have more tickets on one side but less cash than tickets on that same side. So you can see what that's telling you, right? So if 80% of the bets are on Team A, for example, but only 50% of the money is, that means that the public is all over Team A, but the big bettors, the sharps, might be fading them actually. So that is a big thing to look at. Or in another example, maybe Team A has 67% of the bets, but 90% of the money. That tells you, hey, the public is on them and the sharps are on them. So maybe that's a good angle, right? So that is why you need to look at that information so you could get a better gauge of what the pros and the public are doing, if they're aligned or not aligned, okay? So let's talk about why the public usually loses. The public loves favorites, there is no doubt about it, and the public loves overs. They're chasing favorites, they're chasing overs. They bet with emotion, not with logic. And that's exactly why the sports books win long-term, and they continue to win year after year. The lines are designed to take advantage of the average bettor's psychology. They overvalue star players, they overreact to recency bias, and they fall for inflated lines. So when 80% of the players are people are playing one side, it is usually a major red flag. Not always, but enough that it makes me look twice and dig deeper into what's going on. Now I'm going to share with you guys a reverse line movement trick. Here's where it gets real juicy. One of the strongest indicators that I use is reverse line movement. Let's say 75% of the bets are on the Lakers -4, but instead of moving to -5 or -6 as you would think it should, the line suddenly drops to -3.5. That means the odd makers are inviting more public money on the Lakers. Why would they invite more public money on the Lakers? Because they want more exposure on that side. That is a sharp signal. That is telling me that, hey, big money is coming in on the other side. The book's most respected clients, the people, the books keep data logs on every single player. How much do they win? What sports are they good at? What even teams they're very good at betting and winning against? And that tells me that the respected money is looking elsewhere than the public, and they're actually fading the public. I'll ride with the professionals and the sharps over the public every day of the week. So that's a big trick and secret way to look into that information. So now let's go ahead and talk about sharp versus square money because I just covered that. So here's how I break it down, okay? When the percentage of money is higher than the percentage of bets, that is telling you that that is a sharp lean. The public is not betting tens or $50,000 to $100,000 in one game per person. That is sharp or syndicate group money. Public people are betting $50 here, $100, maybe $500 if they're really going crazy, but they're not betting large amounts of money. So when both are inflated and the line is still moving against the public, that gives you confirmation. For example, 20% of the bets, 50% of the money equals big, sharp action. I don't blindly bet the opposite of the public because that is a surefire way to lose. But when this data aligns along with my own capping, that gives me extra confidence and confirmation to fire. All right, now let's talk about the actionable part of it. How do I actually use it on a day-to-day basis? I scan the slate and I flag the high bet games, the games that have a lot of liability and a lot of money coming in it. Anything with 70+% of public action. I look at line movement. If it's moving against the public, that is my starting point. I dig into those matchups, injuries, trends, bullpen data, and everything else to see if there's a fade that is supported there. This is how I find contrarian value, and it's how I built a consistent record of winning plays while the public burns their bankroll just chasing needless hype. So, public betting data is a gold mine if you know how to read it. The goal isn't to fade the public blindly and every single time. That's a surefire way to lose all your money. It is to spot when the books are actually setting traps and sidestep them like a professional. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications. You will get notified every time I drop a new video. Drop a full comment below if you want a full breakdown of reverse line movement, sharp action tracking, or anything else that you may be struggling with or may need help with in my next video. Until next time, stop following the crowd and start thinking like a sharp. Let's get rich off sports, baby.
Listen, sports betting is not an easy game, and I understand it because I've been there and I've done that, right? If you want to take a shortcut and stop having to figure all the tough things out and create your own data models and probability models and dealing with statistics and all the stuff that comes with it, I have a very easy shortcut for you. Join my community. I've got thousands of members that simply copy and paste my plays. I spend the hard-earned money, the hard-earned time, and I do all the hard work to find the value on the board every single day. All you have to do is just copy and paste my plays. If you guys are interested in that or even want a free play, check the description down below.